Welcome to Film Phreeks. This is Justin Llewellyn.
And Eddie Williams.
And right now, we originally were going to do a video review for this review, but unfortunately, due to the fact that I didn't have my light for my car, I wasn't able to use it inside, so we have to resort to audio. So we apologize that we couldn't show the video, but this is the best we could come up with. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about is Peppermint, which is directed by Pierre Morel, and also the movie stars Jennifer Garner, John Ortiz, John Gallagher Jr., and so on.
And if you're not familiar, the director was the guy who did Taken, From Paris with Love,
and the Gunman. Yeah, and so the guy has done like a history of different vigilante type movies in the past, and this movie basically deals with Jennifer Garner's character, who it's pretty much established in the trailers that basically she's getting revenge on the people that
killed her daughter
and her husband.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what the whole film resorts on, where she ends up, after some stuff goes down where the criminals are not be able to put in prison.
It was crooked. It's one of those movies you're going to expect there's going to have crooked judges, cops and stuff. Well, the people that were involved in the killing of her daughter and her husband were let go. Yeah,
and so she takes matters in her own hands and goes outside the law. Now here's some backstory. Now I know I've seen some of the director's other films that he's directed. I love Taken. I really enjoyed I love From Paris with Love. I love that. And you know what? Taken. Yeah. Now I was a little disappointed with The Gunman, but I still thought it was doable. It could have been a lot better, but I do like this director with the.
And it's funny because when we get into our story of this movie, like Taken and For Paris with Love.
Yeah,
we liked. Well, Gunman has problems, but it's doable. This one's got problems and it's doable, but both were entertaining.
Yeah.
So this movie, this movie wasn't too bad. It does have some flaws to it, but it overall is a pretty entertaining film.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that this year, I mean, we've had this the last few years as well, it seems like this has become the big year for, like, revenge thrillers that have come back in theaters, because earlier we had movies like, well, the remake of Death Wish, which Eddie reviewed, that you can check out on our website, on our written reviews, and there was also Upgrade, which was technically a sci-fi movie, but it dealt with a vigilante-type feel of it.
A revenge.
Yeah. And then I think we have another one coming out later this year as well.
We had Proud Mary, another one I reviewed. I wouldn't even waste your time with that piece of shit.
And then I think there's another one coming out later this year called Widows, which is I think also a vigilante. So this is like the big year for vigilante films.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of those take-and-nesh type movies.
And to be honest, I didn't even know this movie Peppermint was even coming out because I didn't see any trailers.
Well, here's the thing: I did see something about 4 weeks ago when you and I checked out a movie, and it was just a pretty much short, bittersweet, here you go, boom, and it was over with. It really isn't a promoted film, which unfortunately, it's now a problem because this movie is not getting hardly anybody in theaters.
Yeah.
This movie probably will be pulled out pretty soon. Because from looks of it, looks like it's bombing bad.
Yeah.
Because of no promotion at all with this. This movie just snaked its way in from the ground. A lot of people didn't pay attention to this movie even existing. But anyways, you got Jennifer Garner, who pretty much loses her husband and daughter, and basically after some odd years later, she goes on a revenge and starts killing everybody involved, even the crooked motherfuckers involved.
Yeah,
the police.
And I gotta tell you, like he was saying, I thought this movie was good, even though it did have its problems. Now, to get my pros out of the way, I gotta say, I haven't seen The Kingdom, but from what I've from this kind of angle with taking action films, I think Jennifer Garner really fucking shined here.
And I thought she really, really shined really well here. And I mean, for what you guys might liked about the film last year, but she kind of reminded me of Charlize Theron from last year. Atomic Blonde. She was this year's version of that. And like that movie, Charlize Theron kicked ass. Jennifer Garner kicked some major fucking ass in the film. And
I mean, the last time I seen her do like any type of fighting was when she played Elektra in Daredevil and the spinoff. Which those movies, I know the first one I've never seen Elektra, but from what I saw from where I remember her in Daredevil that was like her first sign of her getting into that type of role, and I actually enjoyed her in that.
Yeah.
So it's good that she's trying to branch out and trying to be more in action movies, and I think that she really deserves more roles like this.
Yes, and I agree with you. And another pro I like to announce was I love the brutality of the fucking
this
film.
movie, man, you're talking about like any other vigilante film, you get to see a lot of headshots, a lot of fucking brutality of people getting shot.
Man, that part, that one part where she's going at it in that fucking
store.
In that store,
she
blew that motherfucker's ankles off. I was like, damn.
And she's using like similar fight choreography, like mixed martial arts fighting, similar you would see like in the Batman films. The kind of
Charlize Theron did it with.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, with Tommy Blonde. So this movie is trying to basically go with that approach, also trying to go for like a John Wick type film.
Yeah.
So. That was great. And the other thing, too, was I do like how the film basically has its kind of... the other performances are good, too. I do like the John Gallagher guy, the guy who played the cop.
Yeah, I did like the cop, but there's something I do want to mention, too, on my cons about him, and I will get to that in a second.
Yeah, and then there was also... one of the villains that's in the film, I don't know the guy who played him, but I thought he was good. But I did kind of have a con with as far as the writing standpoint.
Yeah, the writing standpoint. But the guy who played him was pretty cool.
He was pretty cool. I also thought the movie had was emotional quite too when we first see the shit going down. It actually pulls you into the feels.
And especially the end, too, where she's wanting,
Yeah, when it all leads to it.
That was a pretty good thing. It was sad and emotion. Yeah, the emotions are there, but it's kind of really...
And, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, no.
Well, I was going to say, too, in a good way, I do think the film is kind of going for like a Tony Scott type of direction, because if you'll notice this movie, if you ever seen any of Tony Scott's movies like Man on Fire, it uses this kind of technique where it's doing like kind of like moving the camera. It's like in a fast, quick cut type of way. You notice that with how like
scenes a quick cut that ain't bad,
right? Where it's like kind of getting you in the mood of like the shit going down, where it like time is advancing and stuff like that. I actually like that because it kind of reminds me of Tony Scott. May he rest in peace. Early like his years of direction.
Yeah.
But now if we get into our cons.
And it's funny because this movie also does a thing, and I'm starting to see this a lot lately in a lot of vigilante films, where pretty much she kind of is like reminisce of The Crow, because they got her kind of like a painting of her with wings, like an angel. They call her like the Dark Angel or some shit like that, which I kind of like that, but then again, this is where we start getting our cons, where you get shit like that you think that you should have saw the buildup on that, and you're wondering, this woman, and this is, all right, now let's enter our cons, because I really want to talk about this now I'm on subject. So, what really hurts this film is... This film is kind of messy on its timeline, and it leaves out something like, all right, when this shit happens to Jennifer Garner, the movie starts out like you've seen in other films, where it's already when she's going through a lot of bad shit and has already been fighting for a while, and then she takes the time out and then like pretty much sees something about her daughters, and then it rewinds time. Yeah, it does that shit, and then now the story's being told. But unlike most of those that do that throughout the whole movie until near the end, this one does that, and then it just fucking abruptly stops in the first 15 minutes. I'm like, then we're back at the same scene again. It's like, what the fuck?
And that's kind of a con for me too, because the way it was edited threw me off, because we go from a scene where the cops are like going to a gravestone or something, and then it immediately follows them going to like where it like cuts to them like 5 years later with no indication where we see them at a crime scene. Yeah. It just the way it was edited it didn't transition
exactly, because it goes from one crime scene 5 years before, then literally instead of building up to whatever, something to lead into, back in the future or back in the past or whatever, it's literally another crime scene. It's the same people again. I'm like, didn't we just fucking see these two in a crime scene? What the fuck are we watching now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't like give us any indication that the time had advanced.
Well, he's right. The editing's really bad, but what really bothered me about that film, and this is what really I think is the most damage, was when they do that. Now Jennifer Garner went from house mommy to fucking Jason Bourne, and literally we don't get no fucking backstory how she went that powerful. This is a woman who's wanted by Interpol.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I could go and kill 15 people here, and it would not be I wouldn't even be on the Interpol's list.
Yeah,
you gotta do some fucking major terrorist like Jason Bourne shit to get that level. I'm like, so how the hell are you gonna let she go from that to stealthy Jason Bourne? And I don't get no fucking explanation on that.
Yeah, because there's only one scene of there's only one like sentence of dialogue that they mention of some of the training she has.
In China.
But that's really it. We don't know any other type of shit that establishes her of getting this like ability.
Yeah, they start bringing up shit that also hurts the plot. Where like, oh, she had 50 grand.
Yeah.
Where the fuck she get 50 grand at? It's like, you get all this fucking shit. All these, like, there's... Not to go any more detail, let's just leave it at that this movie has a lot of plot problems. There's a lot of holes. It's like, as much entertaining this film is, it's got more holes than Swiss cheese.
Yeah. But with that being said, even though I had a lot of problems with the writing, it also comes into play too that it is very predictable how it's going to go down, because there's really nothing like that really stands out from this compared to like say other vigilante films. Because even like you described with Death Wish, the remake earlier this year, it really just feels like you're by the numbers. And the only thing that really kind of really kept me going was
the body count
and Jennifer Garner's performance.
And the killings were awesome.
Yeah, that's really it. It's entertaining, but it's something we've seen countless times before.
And the story is actually very
by the numbers.
It's very messy.
Yeah. But overall, like,
I did like the like he said earlier, we like the villains, but here's another con. These are the most standard fucking villains at the same time. This is just your typical Mexican cartel. So you just get a bunch of no-name Mexican people playing in this, and basically you don't really get any kind of deep backstory to these guys. And not only that, there's also a fucking story that they went towards that fucking disappeared, was the part where the main Mexican bad guy, is also not really the main boss himself. He's got
like other connections.
Well, no, he's got that. They had that in the middle of the movie, and then it just went away. The Mexican cartel was after him.
Yeah, but that's never brought up again.
And the Koreans are after him after that shit she did.
Yeah,
and then boom, they're not.
It's completely avoided. So it's almost like, okay, are we gonna probably get a sequel maybe? Or I don't know, because they never bring it up again.
Well, it wouldn't be a sequel for her because they weren't after her. They didn't even know who she was.
Oh.
They were after the bad guy, which obviously the bad guys lose in the end.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, why do we even fucking do that?
Yeah, so
why were you trying to do a side plot where that guy was fucking up and he's getting in trouble with other gangs?
Yeah, so that was completely unresolved.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. But overall, with that being said, with all the flaws that we did have with it, I still think it was a good time. With that, I'm going to give it probably I'm going to say maybe just an average Joe.
An average Joe?
Or I'll go, because I had some entertainment with it, I'll go with a high average Joe.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna go and give an average, extremely high average Joe, only because it does have some issues other than the entertainment part.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, for those of you who have also seen, not Primary, cut that out. For those of you who have also seen Peppermint, let us know in the comments below of what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out more of our other reviews here and our website at filmphreeks.com. And we'll be seeing you in our next review.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Later.